this league, hey, 2 is the average.
Some of those
2 to 3 is
losses,
the
though,
average.
Blaze, as well, is surprising losses. You get United getting 3-0'd by Rebel. You even get Vanquish losing a series. Noble, you know, the undefeated squad's going against Digital. They're being able to take charge, like I said, escaping that relegation. But into the action, Cellz, like I said, the player to start off hot. He immediately does so, backed up by Lava. They get the frags, and even Moaries wins an exchange up top. And this is exactly what they need to do. Continue to stagger out the deaths now. You got them marked out. You got the opportunity for the M-bar as well towards the top side. Slow and steady wins the race at this point for Noble.
Yeah, slow and steady will win that race. They're going to have that M-bar in hand, and Cellz finds a kill towards mid-map. In this moment, folks, it is Noble, the only squad gathering points off this neutral hill. But Xysho, he was going to be over here towards Fountain side. He knows where next hill is going to spawn, but waiting for this player, this 1v1 to kind of come back from that other side. Xysho's going to use his opportunity to pinch down on the hill with the rest of his squad mates. He will be behind Moaries, but he has his hands occupied as Moaries tries to move in, gets taken out there by Acells. VQ with 20 seconds remaining on this hill. That's a good amount of scrap time. It'll pretty much be a tie game, and you will see Hndles collect on that as these remaining members on the map are going to start moving up top towards info.
And make sure you're accurate as possible. Morty finally nails the blows. Gate takes down Xysho. And honestly, that was great quick moves by VQ to go ahead and disrupt all that point game from Noble. Even though, 35 points, that's still a good start for hill number 1. Noble's going ahead and set up on the next one as well. You see 3 players of Vanquish geared towards the bottom, and that's where Xysho is going to play a big role in this, towards the flank side. That's going to be the extra angle needed. And you already see his team being the distraction, pushing up, almost uncontested. Acells go down. That's going to be an important down. Anybody can clean it up is going to be perfect. Morty's going to go down as well. So just a trade, still a 3v3, but that angle that I spoke about from Xysho is definitely doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, it is doing a ton of damage. It's even forcing Noble out here towards the wide into Xysho's teammates, and they also have the right hand. So this is what VQ wants in this situation. They do get all 3 downs. Beautiful plays from Xysho with that Lancer pressure to be like a sheep herder, herding his opponents there into the crossfire. That's going to get this heal back in favor for Vanquish. Right now, they're currently thinking about this M-bar that's about to spawn up here soon, as Noble's going to be moving up for it. Their focus needs to be this heal, but they can get both in the same rotation. Right now, Moaries will have the opportunity to make the play for a squad, but should they start thinking about next? Should they move in here for the scrap time? The thing is that even if they win this hill PR, by the time VQ spawns up, they may get the advantage down low at gold.
Yeah, you can already see it. Those players spawning up, those players that they just eliminated. It's almost like a reward to die at that certain time, because you already see 4 players towards the bottom. So it does look like Noble might get positioning towards the spawn and the back end, but Vanquish is going to have the anchor on the hill itself. So it's going to be interesting when the hill does pop. It's going to be Moaries with 1 shot left. I don't see efficient use coming out of the M-bar just yet, but downs coming through. The teamwork, the distractions. Moaries goes down, kills being cleaned up, but 2 players down towards the backside. Moaries and Cellz will fall, and that's going to be a blunder on the side of Noble. And this is one of my biggest worries. Once they start getting themselves staggered, how would they bounce back out of it on the side of Vanquish? That's why I said they need to stagger Vanquish first. They need to come out hot, because right now I'm not sure what I've seen so far this season who's going to really step up to the plate.
Well, right now, it is a tie game, folks. And at this moment, VQ, with the slight lead that they have, they're in a good spot to collect on all the rest of this time for the heal. There's 46 points there. This needs to be a successful break from Noble. They cannot give up this time, Jacob. And we see Cellz making a play, gets the kill, backs up away from the Lancer fire. Now he has to work with Morty to get to this heal. I love the smoke to distract the play on the right, but with Cellz going down, that halts the push on this side of the map, and it turns it into a 2v2 fight down low on top of the gold hill, where you see Hndles was able to pick up a kill, but it did work out. Since Cellz got that kill, this turned out to be a 2v1 fight for a brief moment when it came down for the Noble players. And with Lava getting some good shots in on Xysho, we got 21 points remaining in his heal. This will just have Noble at a 10-point deficit to get that remaining scrap time. And we're rotating to a neutral hill at Statue, so they should get all that scrap, but they will be moving up here because the M-bar spawned up, Jacob, and VQ will win this first engagement.
See 2 eliminations on the board. Cellz goes down just for a second, though. 3 players towards the backside, and they don't want to let anything slip through. They won't let anybody get eliminated for free with 2 seconds left. The hill is going to rotate, and right now I do think Noble, they don't have positioning towards the backside. They don't have frags. They don't have M-bar. They need to find a pick somewhere on the map and then use that angle, that window of opportunity to go, but Cellz gets caught out. You see the M-bar in Acells trying to narrow down an elimination. Lava trying to push up. He quickly put that one away, and that's what I like about Vanquish. When push comes to shove, they're ready to swarm. They're wolf packing to perfection, finding 2 more eliminations out. Noble unable to work as a full unit here since the moment this hill popped.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, they have not been able to. VQ has just been on the same page, and even his battle here from Cellz, you know, yeah, he could have got the kill, but instead, he's just going to be staggered here. He has to take a few love taps from Hndles. Now Hndles goes down. This is going to make it a 3v3 fight with 35 seconds on a heal. These members of Noble need to move in now. And with the flash coming out, it just feels like they're too slow on pushing in here. They spawned up 6 years ago.
It almost looks like they're just playing so individually. You saw that early flash being used. Didn't even get a stun. Nobody moving up, Bob. There's a lot of utility going to the Waze side, even when they had the M-bar. It's just not efficient use. And that's what I'm saying. The skill from this Noble team is just immense. And don't let me get you wrong. As individuals, they're some of the best players in Gears Esports. But as a team, they're just not on the same page. They're not working well together. And their power weapon usage isn't as good as it should be. But a quick down from Morty. But a shot fired back from Acells. And there goes the down on the Moaries. Moaries trying to get the revive to come through. And this is great crosses coming out from Noble. This is more of the teamwork that I needed to see instead of that run and gun action.
Yeah, this is great work here from them now. You will have a 1v1 being won by Hndles down low on the hill, where it's Vanquish actually collecting on points. Even though we saw Noble do something very great there as a unit, they're going to finally put the cherry on top and get this heal cap up. So in a good position, Vanquish just has a 1 heal lead as we're pretty much about to enter our next rotations of heals very soon. But in the halfway point of this game so far, Vanquish been playing very well. Xysho will be able to win this battle here towards top statue, and that's going to make it a 3v3 on the map here for Vanquish. But with Morty coming through, he should be able to get the M-bar ammo and rotate back with his squad. But they need to get this heal because Vanquish, man, it just feels like their focus has been heal priority this entire time as a unit, and Noble has just been spread out individually, but we're starting to see them come together now, Jacob.
Yeah, great headshot by Morty. One of those players I said to watch out for when it comes to the slang. He's going to be the guy to put up the numbers. There goes 2 back-to-back headshots from Morty, and that was an important one on the Hndles. I do believe he might have had 1 frag grenade left. Possibly might have used it a little bit too early, got 1 elimination, but you see the next hill is going to pop. All that work done by Noble. They did get a couple of points off of it, but not too much to get themselves back into the game. It's almost like a full hill. Xysho trying to do what he can to stay alive. Gets the down on the 1, elimination on the 2. That's going to be basically 3 downs for Xysho total. Morty, though, he's going to be the player trying to keep his team alive. He does it again. That's 4 headshots with the M-bar. Hopping over the cover, maybe getting a little overzealous. Hndles takes him out. VQ controlling the hill. And that's where I'm saying all of these moves, it's just incredible. It's mind-blowing as an individual. They're just unable to work together as a unit. Noble, they need to figure out a way to stop the bleeding, and it has to happen now.
Yeah, they have to come together as a unit. Now with 49 seconds on his heel, Vanquish will eclipse that 200-point marker. Noble trying to press through. Cellz soaking up a lot of damage. The revive was there, but it was 3 players focusing on that side of the map, and it just seems like the push was not well timed there from Noble. VQ's focus fire there was superb. They managed to get kind of turned into a 3v2, then back towards another 3v2 quickly, just having the right focus on Cellz coming through that choke point. But as we see here, it's Noble's second attempt at a push. Got 4 players on our screen. 1 goes down, 2 go down. And at this moment, Noble with 19 seconds left in his heal, VQ will let them have it as they're going to start rotating down low for next, as we will be moving on over towards Rose Garden.
I think right now but Vanquish has gotten maybe 3, possible 4 sets of frag grenades, 2, possibly 3 sets of shock grenades. Even though Noble has had the majority of the M bars, like I say, the usage of it, the effectiveness just has not been there. And even though Vanquish isn't getting too many multi-kills with their utilities, they're getting just enough. But Cellz gets another one onto Hndles, goes for number 2 onto Xysho, quickly pulls out his shotgun. He needs this elimination. Like I said, it's not just about the elimination itself, it's heating up, it's getting the momentum, but gets the spawn side towards the top side, finishes that battle just in the nick of time, and now he can pull out his M bar and immediately put it to use. Noble winning the battle back and forth around the map to solidify this hill, but with 50 seconds left, this battle, this defense, it doesn't stop here. They need to continuously do it, but they're taking the fight to Vanquish. This is what you need to do, but you have to be on the same page, something we haven't seen so far, but in this occasion, Moaries is just going to get the trade. Vanquish battling back.
All right, Vanquish trying to come back in, close it out here over these next 2 heals, but we'll see if they can do that because currently Noble, 35 points on this one. Vanquish will be able to pick up 1 kill. They're going to have a 3v1 towards the back of the hill, but Moaries joins the fight. He's going to miss that back A, but lots of damage on Xysho, and Xysho will win the battle. Now a 1v1 against Morty. For control over the hill. No one else is in this area, but Morty trying to hold his shot. But instead, he's going to have to hold that L, and Xysho, 18 points remaining on his hill. Going to already have Vanquish rotating up top towards Info. They're picking up some kills as well. And look at the Lancer fire. 2 downs. Looking for a third. The revive comes through. But these members here on the side of Noble, they're in a difficult spot, but Moaries can't fight his way out of it. And the hill will rotate here in 4 seconds.
Again, Hndles gets the frag. That could be number 4, number 5. I don't know exactly. But once more, he has those frag grenades in his hand. And once more, again, Noble has an opportunity at the M bar. 1 hill differential here. If Noble can get a stoppage right here, start getting some times, they could keep themselves into this one. But Hndles knows 2 players are trying to go down towards the bottom. 3 total players there. First frag grenade going out. I don't know if it's going to be able to connect with anything. It does not, but the damage is there. They're funneling players around. Miss one from Cellz. Second one's going to be able to connect. 3 players dead from Noble. Last one alive is going to be the M-Bar player. We've seen Morty connect before, but this is where I'm saying you have to go now. They can win off of this hill. The opportunities are going right out the window, and the desperation pushes are going to ensue from Noble.
Yeah, Noble needs to contest this hill for 3 seconds for Vanquish not to be able to win. And it looks like the way they have all 4 players over here, they will get the contest that they need, and we will have at least 1 more hill left in this map. Great engagement here for Noble though so far. It was plenty of smoke there in that hill. They went in as a unit. They were able to find some kills there towards screen right, but that's scrap time there. And at this point, Jacob, if Noble wants to win out here, they're going to have to play perfect. Vanquish has already rotated across the map towards gold, and these may be the most important M-bar shots that Morty has to get his team back into this game. No. But you see, that's a big double kill coming through for VQ. And with it being a 4v2 on a map, they're going to start looking for the rest of these kills. They want to keep these players staggered, but they're not going to press too far, knowing that, hey, they're right where they want to be, and that's Vanquish.
It's an important kill for Lava. That was an important kill. Now the disruption is, you see the defense is getting spread out, that's number 2. Cellz gets the down. They're going to be able to get a break on this, but the game's not over yet. They could possibly, at most on this hill, get about 257 off uncontested time. It's not over yet, Cellz. I know you want to show him no respect's being shown, but you have a massive amount of work to overcome here. And Vanquish, they're going to have opportunity after opportunity to get retakes on this hill. Frag grenades are going to be up. So is the M-bars. So they're going to have everything to play with here on this last push, while Noble, with nothing in their hands, barely any utility, whatever ammo they have left, have to be perfect on defense here. And already you see Acells, you see Vanquish moving up. 3 players lined up towards the bottom half of the map. Number 4 lining up shots. Xysho lines it up, and that's going to be the first one in the books. Possibly the nail in the coffin as well. You see Moaries doing what he can. He's going to get only 8 down. He gets taken out, and that could be it.
Yeah, that could be it indeed. With 20 points needed here from Vanquish, Morty's going to go down, and it's just enough left on his heel. And I was just about to say, Jacob, now it's up to Xysho to make a play for his team, create an entry point, and my God, did he do that with a sick M-bar headshot. You see the downs there on your screen. Noble, they can't get to this hill. They can't do anything about the dominance that VQ showed in map number 1 here.
Yeah, that's just very, very unfortunate. Noble seemed to be going back and forth in the early stages of the game, but once you give a team like Vanquish opportunity after opportunity, you give them multiple frag grenades, multiple opportunities at those shot grenades, they're able to set up and really hold you off. And if you're not putting that M bar to use every single opportunity, yeah, Morty did get some good headshots, but in that heat of the battle while your entire team was alive, I didn't see it used to perfection. So you got to give it up to Vanquish, not only dodging the M bars, but keeping the timers in their head, controlling the frag grenades almost the entirety of the game.
League, as we are here in day number 10 for phase 3 split 1. And I'm your host, Blaze, joined with Jacob PR. We are getting map number 2 loaded up, but we want to give you guys just a little bit of extra time in the chat to make sure you got your skins. We're looking out for you, so don't say we don't love you out there, because the casters do. But finally, we are here into the game, an important one for Noble, as they've only won one execution map throughout the entirety of the Pro League. And that was a Canals map, 6-3 against DreamCon. On the flip end, when it comes down to Vanquish, they've only lost this map once against E United, which was 6-3. So far, this is their best execution map. But this round number 1 goes in favor to the side of Noble.
Definitely a good round number 1 from Noble. And you can see how well they can kind of pair that together. 34 seconds. Tomb is going to be a little bit quicker, not as quick as Checkout, but definitely not a map that a lot of teams have an opportunity to stalemate on. That's just because the way players roll out of spawn. Pay attention to your mini map. There's going to be a lot of action towards the middle, possibly a little bit down low towards Turbo and towards that sniper as well. But it's that middle fight that matters when you're trying to target a player out. And Acells seems to be the target early on from Noble. He's going to attack that early Lancer damage, or at least survive it. Precision goes down. Cellz is going to go ahead and get first blood. And we talked about how important first blood is. Hndles feels that pressure. Acells goes down, 2-piece for Moaries, leaving Xysho all by himself. He's good, but how good is he really, as he's in a 1v4 situation? Lava makes quick work of him. 29 seconds, so 2 rounds plays in the books, about a minute long total.
Oh, that's exactly what Noble needed to kick off this map, folks, to really set the tempo, because Vanquish, their last 2 execution maps went to around 11. So they this hasn't been their better game mode. And if Noble keeps playing the way that they have been, they could definitely push them the distance as well. As VQ in this moment gonna have to turn up their gameplay and clean it up here around the edges. On board with Acells, playing his flex position. He can help his teammate to the right, focus on his 1v1, trying to get some damage in on Cellz. And I love the Lancer fire, but the smoke may have done it for me, because with the smoke screen, that allowed him to get the damage that he needed, Jacob. And then the easy double kill right after. VQ with the man advantage. They're going to be able to take out these last 2.
So good job from BQ. You don't want to let a round like that run away from you, especially a team like you mentioned, that stat line, winning only 1 execution map so far this season. So you can already see they're kind of putting a lot of their eggs into that run and gun basket when it comes to the objective game modes. And I honestly think when the midst of the playoffs are right around the corner, they need to have a start like this. 2 straight rounds, even though they faltered 1. You got to go ahead and continue to attack that middle portion of the map. Try to catch somebody off guard. Cellz in that 1v1 against Precision is going to be another focal point for this team. But an early smoke from Acells down low. And you see this strategy popping over the cover. They're matching each other. It's like a mirrors right down the middle. Precision trying to catch somebody off guard. Morty gets 1. Only going to be a trade, though, as Acells quickly takes him out. And there goes 2. Cellz versus Acells. And Acells going to come out on top.
But can Moaries make the play? He cannot, as Hndles gets up, hits him with the point blank, and takes him out. But as you were saying, we were watching those 2 players mirror each other there. It was Acells and Morty, and Morty did a fantastic job being able to at least take one of those players to the grave. If Cellz doesn't misroll on that side of the map, I think they have an opportunity at taking this round. But great effort there from both teams being adaptable, but even better for Vanquish, as they're going to end up taking round number 4. Acells, 3 kills, 3 assists, 3 downs to his name. Kill leader for Vanquish. Let's see how this next round is going to break out. Who's going to get the first blood?
I'm over here just at Cellz versus Cellz. Cellz versus that's like almost like a tongue twister. I'm gonna use that for warm up before we cast next time. But it's gonna be actually Precision that's going down low versus Cellz. So far, it's been a nicely evenly fought battle, even kind of getting interrupted by both duos. But Cellz, or Precision, I should say, he's gonna push up. Cellz makes quick work of him, but Morty dies. So they're gonna get one power weapon. But this is where we talk about execution. That first blood, they need to figure out a way to stay alive and use their advantages. Moaries towards the top half, continuing to angle out Xysho with the help of Lava. They get the sniper as well. 3v2 with both power weapons. This is looking like this is in the books.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like indeed. Unless the Cellz could take one to the grave, but the misroll won't do it for him. 1v2 all up to Hndles. He got a torque bow to deal with, and 3 players who are just kill hungry, but they didn't know where he was. Hndles does not get the chunk there on Lava, but if he does, maybe it gets a little interesting, as he had a 1v1 to his left in the end. Great effort there from Noble. You saw Cellz really make the play to kick that one off and get the torque bow and put his team and give his team a nice little angle with that weapon. Now we head over here towards the next round. Let's see, who are we going to be end up kicking this one off with? I'm down for some Moaries here towards the mid map. I'm down with it.
Yeah, I like it because he's usually kind of the last one towards the fight, so you can kind of see the plan develop by the time he gets there. And even if he's not pushing up, you can kind of see who the target is going to be. And wow, straight through the middle, up the gut, taking out Hndles. Now the target's on his Xysho. Cellz goes down low. Morty's falls as well. They need to take this even up to a 2v2, but Lava falls. That's not looking good. Moaries was able to get one, but he's still at a huge disadvantage.
Oh, and he still gets stuck in his shoulder. Great torque bow placement from Precision across the map. But even though Moaries made the opening play, he get first blood. Ultimately, he was going to get him a second kill. In the end, it was a 2v2 fight down low, where Acells and Precision are giving Morty and Cellz a run for their money. So that's the battle that was won that last round that really got it into VQ's favor that round, that is. Now, as we kick off again, Morty's playing a little bit more passive to start. Marks on multiple players here towards the middle. The intel is there. Back over here, it's Morty and Acells. The hop over comes through. Morty gets a free shot. Wasn't as good as he wanted. Cellz can't make the play. And Precision. Whoa.
Oh my God!
He gets the double.
Woo. That was a team down, though. Acells down Precision. Morty capitalized. Lava takes down Hndles. This could be a huge shift into the tides and a big boost for Noble right before mid-split playoffs.
Yeah, it was. Let's take a look back at that one. A lot happened so quickly because it looked like as Morty hops over, he got a free shot, but then he moves in, misses that one, and Precision with a wrap shot down to Cellz to the left. And
oh my God, those moments. It gets so chaotic, so hectic, close range battles. Morty's praying to the gods to survive that one. That's going to be a huge victory, a big momentum shift. But Vanquish, they have to answer back, or Noble could possibly run away with their second execution map of the season. They're going to try and target out Cellz. He lands a crucial shot, pops over the cover, trying to stay alive. That Lancer damage could be crucial. He's not going to let up, but maybe he should have. But Cellz capitalized on his over-aggression, takes him out, gets first blood, gets the down on the Morty as well. So this is looking like Vanquish could tie this up.
Yeah, that's what it was looking like indeed here, as Vanquish will have a main advantage, but let's not count Noble out just yet. It is Lava with a sniper in hand, the vet here on this Noble squad, and we've seen his montages of the past. But they tried to isolate a 2v1 and they were not able to in time. The 1v1 was won by Hndles. Lava gets the cleanup, but he just could not get away to create the distance that he needed to make plays with the snipe.
Yeah, honestly, what's hard about the sniper, I know one of the things you mentioned, how quick some of these maps and some of these rounds go, is you don't really get that many opportunities to warm up with it unless you're possibly in that 1v2, 1v3 situation where you're just running around trying to pop a shot, which I know that's something that you've been in that situation before. So Lava, he quickly puts it away. And honestly, it's hard to disagree with it because you almost need a headshot in that situation.
Yeah, you definitely do, especially when it comes down to this version of execution here and the pace in which it's played. But Morty with the first hop, once again, he had an opportunity at that free shot, but his teammate had already lost the battle to the left, and both power weapons go in the hands of Vanquish. they're going to be able to clean up this round with absolute ease, folks. And as we head here into round number 10, Jacob, where does Noble's focus need to be for them to get the leg up?
I think Noble, they right now, they're doing the same exact thing time and time again. And I don't know how many strategies they have up their sleeve. I don't know if they have been making micro adjustments, but Morty's been hopping over every single time in that same exact situation. I think Vanquish, the team with more experience under their belt, probably a little bit more strategies as well, are taking note of that, and they're taking advantage. Now they're on map point, one step away from going up 2-0, and it's already happening yet again.
Also, too, as well, he finally times it right to get the free shot he needed. Morty kept making the same play. Now the kill comes through. But Cellz will be able to find one. He goes down. 2v1. Hndles is the last one left standing. There is a Turbo on this side, but you see Lava has the snipe in hand. The roll is there. Does a great job at dodging shots, but Hndles is going to try to close the gap. Find a 1v1. He knows the Turbo is not an option for him. Lava has an angle. If Hndles shifts left and right, he can get shot, but Lava switches guns. Where does Hndles find the first 1v1 here? That's the real question. Moaries and Lava playing it very cautiously. They know it's an important round. They do not want to give Hndles anything, and I don't blame them for playing it that way, PR. Make sure you get to the round 11.
Yeah, you're making him work for inches. Mere inches. Body shot's going to be landed. That's going to be Moaries on the other side. Doesn't want to give up the easy 1v1, but shot's going to be traded off. Morty gets a big chunk of damage taken off, but the bait and switch is there. Lava pushes forward, secures the victory, and we have a round number 11, a must-win round number 11 for Noble to tie this series up at 1 apiece.
A must-win round indeed here. Yeah, and you know what? When it comes down to it, I think it has to come down to Morty or Cellz. They're both playing that flex spot. It's that position. And what I was going to say early on in that round beforehand, Cellz was dictating the pace of the fight. And Morty was just very reactive to him in his position. But now Morty's taking over. He flashes, starts to fight, pushes out Acells. That's great effort. First blood comes through for the side of Noble. They see their second target, taking out Hndles. Precision finds a kill, but now he needs to find 2-3 more, not him, but Xysho, as Precision will be down, and is looking like Noble sending VQ to their third round 11 in a row when it comes down to execution. And this time, VQ takes another loss.
Yep, winning their second one of the season on the side of Noble. And honestly, Blaze, what a better time to heat up than right before mid-split playoffs.
Yeah, folks, this is no better time than now. When it comes down to the action, it is at its peak. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will have the conclusion of this series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League Split 3 Phase 1 Day number 10. I'm Blaze, joined with fantastic Jacob PR, and we just got done watching an epic round 11 between Noble and Vanquish, which got the series all tied up 1-1. So Noble, clutching up and really winning a map that they absolutely needed, because as we move on towards the next 2 maps in this series, the next 3 maps in this series is going to be Training Grounds Escalation. Right after that, District Control and Checkout Execution as the last map at the end of the cycle. It's either going to be Checkout or Clock Tower. But if we get there to map number 5, both maps will be great to watch, Jacob. But talking about this Training Grounds Escalation is coming up, we know how great this VQ team is going to be on this map. What does Noble got to do to beat them?
Honestly, they need to take kind of different points from that Tomb Execution and bring it into Escalation. And what I mean by that is from that the moment it happens on the training ground, they need to make sure they keep track of their man. They make sure they treat it like Execution, to where they have a single life, because Vanquish, they're going to spawn up. They're going to, whether they lose the fight and win the fight, they're going to charge in and attack time and time again. Even on defense, we've seen them go ahead and try to be the aggressive team. So Noble, they need to go ahead, and when their setups are there, like I said, treat it like Execution. Try to get a player out and then hold your setup. Wolfpack together and make sure you're using your teamwork, because if you falter, you split up, you play it as an individual for a single second, that's when Vanquish is going to take advantage of. They're going to start to build that momentum onto their side, and we've already seen it. It's going to be hard for a team like Noble to overtake that.
Yeah, it is going to be very hard for them, folks. Okay, that's not no easy task. Now, what I'm curious of seeing as we head into this map is the weapon placements, because I think that the meta has changed. And with that being said, the first 3 rounds of this map should be center line power weapon focus, especially if you don't want to give your opponent a free shot grenade that you have to deal with, or a free incendiary grenade that you have to deal with every single round. With us having on control and execution centerline power weapons that are there throughout the entirety of the round, and these squads have learned how to play around them, we're starting to see them wanting to play around more centerline power weapons and execution early on, and get that classic Gears feel towards the map that we may have not had when it came down towards our last season of the Pro League. So I'm curious to see if we do get a shock being placed down low towards the B hill right away. And if one team does that, then the other team needs to ask themselves right away, what power weapon do we want at the E hill? If they start building up their secondaries, then they're going to already be behind.
Yeah, and to me, I agree with you, because I think one of the biggest thing that says to me when teams are putting those weapons, whether it's the instants, whether they're shocks down center line, is they're not going ahead and wanting to lean on a crutch. They're going ahead and say, hey, the power weapon's here, the instants are here, the shocks are here. You're going to have to fight them for us, or we're going to go ahead and get that weapon and use it against you every single round, and you're not going to have a defense for it. So to me, I like that strategy that does go out. I think it's going to take some teams, some more than others, a little bit more practice to go and utilize that. But like you said, I'm not going to be surprised if we start seeing that more, especially out of VQ.
All right, folks, here we go. Kicking off map number 3 is Vanquish versus Noble. We're all tied up 1-1. Kicking this one off with Cellz, as he's going to be hit with 2 flash grenades. You see a long range nade coming through across the map. Not going to be able to connect there on Hndles, and the Cellz just needs to get ready for one great shot on this cover, knowing that Hndles was looking for that perfect opportunity, and he found it. At this moment, VQ with a man advantage. They're going to find their 2nd kill here, and the 3rd as well. Focus towards the B hill and their opponent's home hill. Vanquish is in a great position to get this lead.
Yep, I would say, luckily for Noble, Morty, from the moment that one started, played aggressive, got that early capture on a B, and got themselves a little bit of lead. So this 2-for-1 in favor of Vanquish is only going to get them the lead back. So they have that time here to figure out which hill they want to make their own and attack it. It is going to be their home hill. 2 players already going ahead and starting that charge. Cellz going to be 3rd to the fight. They need some help. No Flash is getting the stuns necessary. Cellz goes down early. Vanquish is setting up a huge defensive stop here, but Moaries gets it down. That is going to be a difference maker, but he falls as well as Lava. Hill's not going to be decapped, so the points are going to continue to rack up on the side of VQ, and they've overtaken the lead. And this is where you already see the members. They're swarming for that neutral, knowing Noble once again have to fight for their home hill back.
Yeah, Morty's doing a fantastic job defending this hill as long as he have. But now with him going down, he's going to get cleaned up. 1v1 for Cellz, but Cellz is taking some free shots from the left. There was a player in heaven, player 8 being Hndles, was able to help his teammate out in the hill. Now VQ with 2 to their name. They do have the lead, and they honestly could just really sit back and play for, can play for Noble to really play into their hands, as VQ is going to back up and set up defensively. They don't have to do too much here, as Noble got to revive teammates, and they need to formulate a push now, as it's just 27 seconds left on the clock till Vanquish gets victory.
Yeah, the way right now Vanquish is set up, they want to go ahead and try to solidify this neutral. Lancers from the top and the bottom. Acells going to trade him down, but the eliminations are going in favor of VQ. Both Moaries and Cellz are going to be taken out. You see Morty's falling as well. Lava, the last hope alive. Less than a few seconds. He's not going to be able to stand a chance here, and he's not even going to go for it, knowing it's just doom in front of him. Maybe I could pad the stats a little bit as he takes out Xysho, as VQ dominate round number 1, Blaze. And I got to go ahead and ask you, what does Noble have to do after seeing that first round to really prepare themselves for what's to come?
Well, so what Noble's going to have to do is they need to go into it with the mindset that Cellz is going to have right hand at the top of Overlook, and they need to win that battle, and they need to win it with the same aggression and assertiveness that VQ had when they kicked off the round from this theater spawn. And so if they can do that and get that first blood and get the control, they will be in a great spot. Now, early on, I think it was, you saw Morty there down low. He got control of that range, so he's going to have to play that position just as well as he did in the first round. And Noble will have success, so we'll see how it plays out, as Precision is going to be the front spawn for Vanquish. Him and the Cellz going as wide as they possibly can, but They have to cut back in, knowing that they're getting crossed from Morty at the opposite heaven. They see 3 players on screen, so they fully disengage. Precision can't get away just yet, but he stays in for the fight. Gets it down, gets a clean up. Beautiful flash, and a pinch is there from Vanquish. What a great engagement.
And I really need to take note of one of the biggest differences to me is the amount of Lancer damage that Hndles is putting out over the top. Morty right now has the aggression. He has the hill in mind, and it's honestly, I feel like going to be a huge difference maker towards the end as Vanquish are doing their best to close this one out. Multiple eliminations, Cellz and Lava fall. Moaries and Morty not even close enough to get a touch. 2-0. But back to my point there, Morty's, he started off going ahead and trying to Lancer up top, but then he went ahead and tried to go for that hill, tried to go for the capture, but that damage that Hndles is doing, we know how much damage 4% really is when you get that close with shotguns.
Damage. One of my favorite words, Jacob, okay? I just wish we had a damage stat. Chat, everybody, just take a moment of silence, say a prayer. Maybe one day we'll get it.
That's one.
Okay, thank you. All right, yeah, because I would love to know when it comes down towards Hndles in that heaven spot and Morty on the opposite end, who is doing more damage to support their teammates in that fight at the Overlook, because you caught it perfectly, PR, in the last round. That was the difference maker there. So we'll see if it happens again. Those heaven players have a huge role, but as you see, Cellz planning towards the low side just to kick it off. Lava will win his battle against Precision. Big fight for him as he's moving up, getting aggressive. Acells taking some damage. He goes down, and good job to Lava backing up, letting his teammates pepper him up just a bit, knowing that he did not have to fight alone. And in this moment, Hndles is gonna be able to win his 1v1 and get the B heal for his team. So Vanquish not in a terrible position at this point. They do have a heal to their name, but they're going to have to get one back soon. And it should be the C heal, because I don't know if player 1 is going to be able to hold off on that 1v1. But on your screen, it is going to be the side of Noble winning that battle. So Noble will be able to keep the B heal, but with their teammate Cellz going down at Vanquish's home heal, Noble just needs to back up, play a 2-to-1 heal setup. Big kill on Xysho, and it will come through. So Noble's thriving in this moment, Jacob.
That was incredible movement from Moaries there to continue putting out damage. Dodging a flash that I'm not even sure he's seen to take that 1v2 to keep Noble in control of this situation. And you talk about now they have to consistently hold off the onslaught of BQ players who are now going to respawn, unlike Execution. You already see 3 of them charging towards the top half of the map. Lava, I don't think he was ready for this one. He goes down. Cellz trying to be the hero. One down from Moaries. Cleanup coming through. Lots of damage there from Acells. He does go ahead and solidify that elimination. That's going to be a 2-piece in the book for him. They're going to go ahead and try to get number 3 and disrupt Vanquish's home field. They have the score lead towards the top. They're in massive control of this series. Honestly, this is their round to lose.
Yeah, it is going to be their round to lose. And right now they have control at their opponent's home hill. This is a must-win round here on the side of Noble. But playing ring around a Rosie at these stairs, the Cellz was not able to get in position to get the kill. And it will be a quick trip cap domination. Well, not a quick one. It was 2 minutes and 6 seconds there on the round. But after that last initial that came through, you just saw the members of Noble move up through the B hill, move up to the home hill, winning all their fights systematically, and winning all their fights simultaneously. And it worked out very, very well for them. So good job. We'll see if they can bounce back here in round 4 and get this one all tied up. So we're seeing the classic weapon placements too.
Yeah,
as well.
I was about to say what we were talking about earlier, not putting those weapon placements in towards the middle. Honestly, this could be one of those things where it's situationally based. You go to the classic play against Noble. You know they're not going to have too many tricks up their sleeves. They're trying to still find their own playstyle. But against a team like Rise, against a team like E United that might have a little bit more experience, that might have a few more strats, I could see that playing into this one. So interesting to see how this one does develop and that playstyle overall. As Vanquish trying to take early control, shock towards the backside. Cellz once again doing everything he possibly can. But it's just too much for one man.
Yeah, just a little bit too much for him. But if anyone can hold that weight, it's definitely going to be Acells, as he's going to have this top overlook control, trying to shoot down here on Lava. Dominant squad knows that he's in a difficult position, but Lava was not able to rotate towards the God spot. So he's going to go down in the corner and no one can save him. So that's going to be detrimental there on the side of Noble, as they have to wait for him to come off respawn. before they can really do anything because they don't have the numbers at B. And even though they do have 2 players on this side of the map, it's 2 players at a height disadvantage here. You want to at least get your 3rd guy spawned up. So that's what Noble's going to do. Their focus is going to be towards the overlook. We'll see how Precision and Acells can defend it. As you see, they dropped all the way back. They threw the smoke to even kind of mask their numbers as well. Maybe go for a flank.
I like this though. There's no hill over there. There's no weapon over there. There's honestly no reason
need to fight it.
Yeah, so for Vanquish to get taken out, and there's nobody from Vanquish in the center portion. Into that pit to where B is, so no one's even going to get lancered out. But inch by inch, you see Noble trying to take advantage of the mismatch. Precision even sneaking down towards the bottom, getting lancered out, and nobody's there to try to get the cleanup. But you see the backtrack towards the top. Precision is the target. He falls. Noble, like I said, inch by inch, trying to get themselves into control. But at this stage in the game, Blaze, I don't think 2 hills are going to be enough. I think they need a triple neutralization or a triple cap.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one because even after the B hill is capped, you see that Vanquish will win in 60 seconds. But the beauty is for Noble is that they can use all this time on the clock to make sure they get towards that side of the map. But they don't use it wisely. You see multiple members dying off towards the B hill and dying off towards A. And that's the difference when it comes down towards experience and pressure situations that these 2 teams may have against each other. Because as soon as Noble was able to get towards that overlook and get the B hill captured, they should have took a breather. They should have took 2 seconds, talk about their next play, and start to move up for that perfect push. Because them dying right there, just, you know, they had no chance coming off the respawn to really do that over again. So you need someone on the comms to really assess and guide and coordinate those last second pushes.
Yeah, because to me, I agree with you. There's a difference between, you know, waiting 12 seconds for somebody to come off of respawn and waiting 3 or 4 seconds for somebody to just get into position. Yeah, the timing is crucial, but you want to make it as efficient as humanly possible because, yeah, that respawn's 12 seconds. Then he has to run into place. Like I said, knowing your situations is going to be important. And Noble right there, I think they're just getting caught slipping in some of these situations, not really utilizing it to their full, but I think Morty's going to switch things up. They want to fight that up top battle and get as much damage as they can. But similar to the last round, it looks like it might be a little bit of a delay push towards the top side. Lava did it once. He was able to find a cheeky elimination to get themselves ahead in the beginning portions of that round. But as it looks like it's just going to be a stalemate for now.
Yeah, both teams are going to be playing towards their right-hand advantages, which sit Noble down low towards you and Vanquish up top towards the overlook. Down low, the 1v1 battle is these players are spread so far apart. They're not even worried about each other. It's a small chess match happening in that 1v1, but with the shot grenades on the map, Lava, where is he going to toss this one? I've seen him throw some fantastic nades. Everything from ink grenades, frag grenades, shocks, incendiary grenades, smoke.
There is a nade right there.
I've seen him throw some fantastic nades, but does not have the flash, the shock out. But right behind both of his opponents is well placed, but the damage isn't there, and a counter shot comes through, and it's a battle won by Vanquish. Beautiful counter there to what Noble had worked up. But if you know, when Lava tossed his shot, they had to be aggressive, get through, kind of get those kills. But Vanquish was ready for him, man. They knew what the play was going to be.
Yeah, when Lava, also when he tossed that shock, he was trying to bounce it off that back wall to try to get it into a position to where it would actually hit those players on the cover, but it didn't get the bounce that he necessarily wanted. And because of the spacing in between the cover and that back wall, they were really able to survive and thrive in that situation and not really have to back off like Noble thought they would. And then basically kind of ran into a trap. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. Players immediately got eliminated. That's where I was looking at that player where Lava was originally at, towards the bottom. And that's why I think, you know, these players, they have so much time when it comes to practice. You need to practice that shot grenade. You could throw it from the bottom of the steps upward and do the same exact thing and make that push a lot safer.
Also, he twirled it too. Like, if I see anybody twirl a nade in front of me, I'm like, bro, I know exactly what you're about to do. If he could have blind fired that nade and got it into position, that would have got them the 2 kills that they needed. And all he had to do was put it on top of cover. It would have tripled back and got both players, just like how that shot grenade is kind of showing up on screen currently. But both of those will be tossed. No kills or downs coming through for either team, but a kill capture at E does come through for VQ as they are at map point looking to close this one out now. 3 players trapped up top for Noble at the overlook, and 2 kills will get acquired. They're looking for more. They know where Morty is going to be at. and VQ trying to end this game now, as they're going to have 2 players on their opponent's home hill. The third is coming over. Only one is respawning. What I'm trying to say, folks, is that this series is done and dusted. Well, not series, but map at least. Okay, VQ, they come out on top. Map number 3, 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1. What a big victory from Vanquish. And honestly, even though that wasn't a big slaying map, 12-second round, 30-second rounds, you got to look at a lot of those rounds and think Vanquish was in total control. And you look at a lot of the defensive opportunities there's from Noble, and it just did not come through. So back to the drawing board for them when it comes to Escalation. But Vanquish, they have a clear-cut head on their shoulders, moving into another control objective game mode plays. And that was one of my worries. When it came to execution, I thought Noble, even though it was only their second map victory, did a good job of taking the players out one by one. And these objective game modes, you not only have to do that once on the initial, but you got to do it time and time again in the same round. And I don't know how many times you're going to be able to do that against a team like Vanquish.
Yeah, I don't know how many times you'll be able to as well, but Noble, some rounds we saw them kind of really put up a fight there. But overall, looking at it, it really was the initial battle that they came up short at top Overlook. The early rounds, they were not winning that engagement. I think one of the rounds that they got in the first half, they were able to win it, and it was off the back of Lava making some great plays. But after that, it was Precision and Acells kind of really doing what they wanted. Hndles had the support fire coming across from heaven, and it got to a point where the members of Noble says, you know what, we're not even going to fight it. We're going to just go down towards you and try to pull the fight towards this side of the map. But when that happened, VQ just slowed the map down, and they tried to assess where that next engagement was going to come through. Where was the new point of contact? And for the most part, they were able to find that point of contact each and every time, which gave them the 5-1 score that they did on Training Grounds Escalation. But now we have to move on over towards District Control, which as I was looking at this cycle PR when we first started at the kickoff of our series, I said this is the map that I feel like VQ is going to have their best performance on.
Yeah, honestly, throughout the course of the season, you can see it when they're playing in their aggression. Once they start feeling themselves, they get a little bit confident. They begin to steamroll these teams, and against a team that might not be as skilled as some of the rest, and Noble, to where you can kind of see it, not on the same page, not sure their strategies and things and so on and so forth. A team like Vanquish is going to take advantage. And now another objective style game mode. It's not necessarily the same as Regency, but with that boom shot playing a factor into the middle, being able to hold down the corners and the spawn points as well. Like you said, I think this is going to be an opportunity for Vanquish to really blow this one out of the water, cut the series short at 3-1, and then we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, and so we'll see how Noble's going to put up a fight, because they only lost by 78 points when it came down to the first control. It was a close series, but as we talked about, what did they have to do in that one and in that first control map to come out successful that they did not do? Well, that was number one, their wolf packing was not as good as it needed to be in certain scenarios to win the fights that they needed on some of these hills. Also, two was they have to get an early lead. If they can get an early lead, maybe about 40 or 50 or so points, they can alleviate some pressure from them. They can rotate early for some heals, knowing that they can set up, make up whatever time that they may have lost there, and have that cushion of a lead. But also, too, it even gives them the confidence to take some engagements that they may not have taken beforehand if they were down. So I think Noble needs whatever cushion they can get, that being two of them, for them to come away with this map victory here. And we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I don't know who's necessarily the coach of this Noble squad, but they're also going to have to kind of adapt on the fly, whether they're here or not. But in that first Regency control, grenades were dominated by Vanquish control, whether they were used correctly or not. And you don't want to have that going against you. Hndles starting off hot, getting first blood on the Morty. And they have both boom shot and instant control, immediately putting them to use to get themselves this initial victory and the early lead that we both agree Noble needs to get.
Yeah, they got both power weapons that they need in this moment. Noble, they're going to they need to rush to heal. Don't overthink it, because it's early on in the map. You want your opponent to have to use the boom shot and the incense as soon as possible. The longer that they wait, VQ puts those power weapons in better positions to get maximum time off this heal. And they may even save a few of those power weapons for the next heal and the next set of power weapons also. So Noble, they get in here, but I don't see a single incendiary grenade being tossed. I don't see a boom shot. We finally saw the first one. It was a team kill.
I feel like we're on the same page. We've been casting so long. We've competed each other, winning ESL, open cups. Man, I'm watching that one. And this is exactly what we talked about. All 4 players up. They don't wait the few seconds for Cellz instance to make an impact. They get caught out one by one and Vanquish already with their early team plays, early aggression, pulling away with 60 points. But Morty with the turn. But that's not the time to hit Xbox record that, because you're going to record a 56-point deficit.
Bro, you can't be recording plays when you're down. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's rules to the clips.
But look at that play.
In the end, right? And us as a community, if we see whack clips on the TL, we got to say something like, hey, bro, that was nice and all, but
down 60.
Right? You're down 60. You know, we just got to set the level of standards here that we want to see for content, all right? But here we go. As you see, VQ with a nice lead in this map so far. They're trying to keep it, and they're doing a good job at it, as their opponents cannot come down these stairs. Even with the slight height advantage that Noble has in this moment, they can't do much. With 36 points on his heel, VQ has cleared out the surrounding areas. They got their opponents to at least use one of these incendiary grenades. But even with that nade coming out, what can Noble do with this current man advantage?
Don't tell me he used both. He really used both for one of those eliminations with 23 seconds left on the clock. Okay, let's say, yeah, there goes the second one. Unable to connect. Moaries goes down. Lava falls as well. So not only is Vanquish going to get that scrap time that's remaining on the hill, they're going to be first towards that next one with Xysho beating them to the punch. Cellz marked out, spotted out in no man's land. Precision making sure to solidify the down, but Moaries is going to be the hero that they absolutely need. They can't stop here, though. They need to backtrack right now. They're going south when they need to go north. Moaries goes down, and that's a double kill for Acells. Can he get 3? Acells gets 3. He gets 3 with a fourth possibility. Go for it. Go for it. It's okay, brother. You did your job. You did what you needed to do, and you hyped up the team.
Now, what can a team do with that momentum? Well, they already have a nice setup at the ATM hill. 2 players towards spawn. They got 1 player watching cinema. That's Precision. You see, he has a 1v2 that he's going to disengage from. Not really a 1v2 because he has teammates help from the mid-map, teammates help behind him. He is just the first point of contact for this defense. And Noble's going to have a hard time getting through him with his teammates' support. So what does Noble do, folks? They're going to try to send a player towards the bottom portion of the map, get those incins, rotate around. But at a 100-point deficit, I don't know if Noble has the luxury of having stalemate moments like this.
They definitely don't, but at the same time, they can't afford to play as individuals either. Morty's just stuck in the middle doing what he can. Moaries goes down as well. Right. This is just not looking good right now. They're just getting staggered. These 2 players alive down towards the bottom. They have to figure out a way to stay alive and take out Acells if he wins this one. And this is where you're going to see him throw that flash and try to pick up the instance for himself. So once again, Cellz lands himself with incendiary grenades, but Xysho with a boom shot. He's going to get a second. How did he even hold on to it that long?
He's been holding on to this boom since the game started, chat. I promise you, okay? God. That's how much control they have had, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the 3rd boom. But let's keep the camera on Xysho for a bit. He has it set up for a double kill. Oh, that was almost the nade that they needed to get those booms on the ground. But nice boom shot to help out his teammate. Moaries had to time himself out. So currently a 4v2 on the map with those kills coming through simultaneously. Vanquish assesses that. They move into the hill. They find a 3rd, and they have the 4th player marked and down as well. They know that the deaths are staggered again, so Vanquish is still in a killing mindset. They're looking for the next kill. They're in a violent mindset at that, as they're able to have some fun as well, because they still got a boom shot to work with. They say, get away from us. We have to have a conversation with Morty. Do not flank us, Cellz, okay? As something's personal happening in info down low during the match, the other 2 members of VQ, they're getting the job done. This squad does not need to play together. They can have some fun. They can spread out along the map, because you take a look at the score line, and man, VQ, dominant performance on this map so far.
I was just watching 8 Mile the other day, those rap battles at the I just feel like the crowd right now in the beginning of the movie where they're just shouting, he's choking from the background. Right now, it's just not looking good. And honestly, I'm saying that because Noble is better than this. They're better than what they're showing right now. 26 points. This is just not looking good, especially when we were talking about winning their second execution map. Things are looking good right before playoffs, but they're just falling apart left and right, and they're getting swarmed yet again. Vanquish doing everything right towards the back end, finding more eliminations, pairing it together. Cellz, he is just a tank right now.
If I had to give this series an 8 Mile an equivalent, it's the last rap battle. And like Vanquish came into this series, they were like, yeah, we need Boom. They said like, yeah, you're gonna play for Boom, you're gonna try to go for the first hill, we're gonna win the ensigns, we're gonna style on you, we're gonna stagger depth. They gave out the entire game plan. They knew what it was. They knew what their opponent's game plan was. They laid it out on the table and they said, do something about it because we know your every single move right now. And Noble, they have no counters whatsoever.
And depending on if Hndles has Boom here, he's just waiting, letting these players funnel in towards that corridor. He's going to use it at the perfect moment. Maybe a little bit too soon for my liking, but with this amount of points, it's just not something to scoff at as he goes and push forward. And they take the fight to them exactly. If you take the fight to them and they're fighting for honestly the 50% portion of the map, that's going to make it so much harder. Even if you lose that fight, you can spawn back up and they're just continuing to steamroll. They find another one. Cellz and Moaries working together. Finally, things are going their way. But every time I think that's going to happen, things get turned upside down for the side of Noble as Cellz using both to take out Morty. He wants to be the first to the hill.
Yeah, he does, man. And, you know, just watching how VQ play, if you ever want to try to get as close to this, get as close to this play style as quickly as possible, and you don't have the years, the experience, the time that the core trio has on his team, the first thing you think about, always look for a 2v1. Always. Like, let that be your mantra of your new team. Find 2v1s and take them, because if you do that quickly, eventually you will set yourself up for the best fights on the map. You'll always have a man advantage, and you should be able to dominate because, you know, when it comes down to VQ, like you said, PR, they're going to always bring the fight to their opponent if they can, but they just always have great awareness of the situation that they're in and know how to get an advantage.
Yeah, but 2 seconds left. All they have to do is touch the hill. Big flank coming in from Hndles. If he gets these eliminations, it's game over. Lava gets the revive. Cellz gets the elimination. They're trying to hold on for dear life. Both of those players go down, and so does Noble. Vanquish close out the series 3-1.
Wow, what a fantastic series here for Vanquish. This map control, they made it look dominant. It was a flawless victory for them on District, winning by about 280 points almost throughout this entire series. They went to another round 11 on execution. They lost it, but when it came down to the respawn game modes, PR, this Vanquish roster looked like the team we thought they would.
Yeah, definitely so. You even said it. They had their hardest competition in the beginning. They built themselves up as a roster, figuring out how they want to play. So now that they might have a little bit easier matches, this is definitely looking like it is easier matches from Vanquish. I'm just hoping for this team that you don't let this get to your head. You're a great team, but this work is not over just yet. This is just Pro League. You're going to have to do this again during mid-split playoffs.
Yeah, and that's where it all matters, folks. Okay, next weekend, our mid-split playoffs as we head into phase 2 of split 3. It's gonna be a special event that you guys don't want to miss. The last one that we had, it was Hive that came out victorious, and they had pretty much almost a damn near flawless event. Really fantastic watching them play, and I'm curious to see if we get a similar performance out of one of these squads that in our Pro League, and I know we will. Of course, it's gonna be